Student clients, welcome back to another edition of the NMS e-learning systems YouTube channel, brought to you by the DLA Guru.
So on HECdistribution.com, and I'll make this a little bigger for you guys, for those in the back, you can see that we are now working with HEC Distribution. So in other words, if an order goes through HEC, with our relationship with HEC, we will be able to assist in generating the required MIL-SPEC 129 unit ID labels. And they're being advertised for 6 cents per label, but these are a requirement. So for example, Brother James has 146 of these parts. And let's see here, he puts it in the chat. Let me throw up on the screen. He says that they are lightweight, small electrical parts, fantastic to you. And he says item weight is 0.8 ounces. Product dimensions are 2 inches, roughly, by a ½ inch by 33 inches. Oh my God, these things are really small. But as you know, James, because you executed on a few contracts, those 146 parts, because the QUP is 1, are going to require 146 of these. Let me point this way. 146 of these labels. All right. And so we offer 3-inch by 2-inch labels that give you all the military specifications that the military requires. And these are printed on a polypropylene label, and it has the right type of ink on the label so that it's weatherproof. And this is a requirement for MIL Standard 129 labels. A lot of folks don't know this, that you can get a quality notification if you're using kind of a laser jet or a bubble jet printer, and you're using those thermal label printers. If you're using that, that will be rejected. And you may get a few contracts where it trickles in, the DLA accepts it, but one day you're going to get a quality notification that says you guys are using the wrong kind of ink on that label, and then you're going to be in the world of hurt. So you want to kind of learn a little bit about how you can outsource some of those services in order to increase your efficiencies with executing on your contract awards. All right. So thank you for that. And we got another comment in the chat. I'm going to throw it up on the screen. Box Office has a rebuttal. He says, are there certain types of labels we're supposed to use? If so, what are they called? Fantastic question, Box Office. You are in the right building today, because I do have some answers to that particular question. And so it's highly, highly recommended that you reach out and start to have discussions with these outsourced solutions. For 1, material handling, 2 for labeling, 3 for packaging, because sometimes you can get contracts where you have, as a matter of fact, we're working on a contract right now where we have 10,000 O-rings, literally 10,000 O-rings are part of this contract vehicle that we have. And the QUP, which stands for quantity unit pack, is 1. That's a daunting task to have done for our organization. We're just not set up to label, we call it bag and tag 10,000 O-rings. And so we outsource those services in order to assist us with getting that done faster, because this particular contract, there is a sense of urgency, because these O-rings are directly supporting an overhaul of military warplanes, that this particular O-ring is can keep these planes grounded. So we're working directly with the DLA, working directly with the program manager, and making sure that we're getting these products bagged and tagged correctly so that they can be accepted into the supply chain with the DLA, and also getting into our vendor, I should say our customer, in a timely fashion. So if you find yourself, going after contracts where there's just a lot of line items, there are a lot of items that are associated with your contract, you want to definitely consider outsourcing some of that. And to you, Box Office, you're asking, what types of labels am I talking about? Well, they're MIL Standard 129 unit ID labels. All right. And so we recently, through our partnership with HECdistribution.com, we allowed a product, our labeling services, to be advertised on HECdistribution.com. So let me go ahead and click on this link here, and I think it should automatically load the website. Well, actually, it didn't automatically load the website, but here, it loaded it in the wrong screen. So here, let me get it over into my other browser that's on screen there. But yeah, let me drop the hyperlink in there. And so to you, Mr. Box Office, you were asking a little bit about what types of Let me get to my, I can't see the chat right now, so I don't know who's saying questions to me. But yeah, so on HECdistribution.com, and I'll make this a little bigger for you guys, for those in the back, you can see that we are now working with HEC Distribution. So in other words, if an order goes through HEC, with our relationship with HEC, we will be able to assist in generating the required MIL-SPEC 129 unit ID labels. And they're being advertised for 6 cents per label, but these are a requirement. So for example, Brother James has 146 of these parts, and let's see here, he puts it in the chat. Let me throw up on the screen. He says that they are lightweight, small electrical parts. Fantastic to you. And he says item weight is 0.8 ounces. Product dimensions are 2 inches roughly by a 1/2 inch by 33 inches. Oh my God, these things are really small. But as you know, James, because you executed on a few contracts, those 146 parts, because the QUP is 1, are going to require 146 of these. Yeah, let me point this way. 146 of these labels. All right. And so we offer 3-inch by 2-inch labels that give you all the military specifications that the military requires. And these are printed on a polypropylene label, and it has the right type of ink on the label so that it's weatherproof. And this is a requirement for MIL Standard 129 labels. A lot of folks don't know this, that you can get a quality notification if you're using kind of a laser jet or a bubble jet printer, and you're using those thermal label printers. If you're using that, that will be rejected. And you may get a few contracts where it trickles in, the DLA accepts it, but one day you're going to get a quality notification that says you guys are using the wrong kind of ink on that label, and then you're going to be in the world of hurt. So why even try to, chance it? Don't chance it. Get the right type of label so that is something that's a risk that's mitigated, and you don't have to worry about it. So we offer that on HEC distribution.com. Real simple of how you get these labels printed. If you scroll down, I recommend when you log on, and I'll be sure to, well, actually, let me go throw this in the chat right now. Might as well throw it in the chat. Why not? Throw this in the chat. Let's see here. I'm going to send it in the public chat. Yeah, so you guys might want to click on it if you're on your computer, taking a look at what we're talking about today. That way you can, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and pin that as well. Replace pin message. Okay, cool. So I just pinned it to the top of the chat. So if you guys want to take a look at the site here, you could answer the question. I mean, just read the questions there. 1 through 5 is basically telling you, what information you'll need to pull from your contract. You look in section B of your contract award, and it's going to provide you with all the necessary information that's there. Now, keep in mind, you will be solely responsible for putting in the the quality of the information. It's your responsibility. Our company and HEC, we will not take a look at your contract to fact check the information you're putting. That's on you as the contractor to make sure that you're putting the right information in here. But you can find it in section B of your contract, and you basically will take that information from your contract, fill in all the required fields here. Basically, you put in your company name, the national stock number that you have been awarded on your particular contract. It says here it must be 13 digits, because we all know national stock numbers are 13 digits long. And you put it in there without the dashes. You want to put in your cage code that's on your awarded contract vehicle there. You're going to put in your product number. You're going to put in your item description, your quantity unit pack, whatever that may be in your contract, your unit of measure. You can be sure that you write out what the unit of measure will be based on your contract award there. And that's all in section B of your contract. And you want to put in your preservation method or unit of preservation, if that is a requirement in your contract. Most contracts don't have this requirement, so you can basically input none, as well as the required shelf life markings. And so, like, for example, in the contract that's on screen with Brother James, being that this is an electrical item, there's a high probability that you will not have a shelf life requirement. Hey, James, you can fact check that for me as well by putting in the chat if you have a shelf life requirement. So if you do not have that on your potential contract, you can go ahead and insert none here. And then you also include your DLA contract number here. Let's see here. We got a question that just popped up from Mr. Box Office. Let me see here. He says, oh, wait a minute. Okay. It says, does your company sell these labels as blanks? No, we do not sell the labels as blanks because you can buy the labels as blanks. The issue is making sure that you are able to, produce the volume of the labels. So we do pre-printed labels for you. So again, you would be filling in all the fields on the associated website here, and then you will load in here. In Brother James's case, you would put 146 labels that you would need. Add that to the cart. We're basically, there's a price that I think is an introductory price of 6 cents per label. And of course, there's a shipping and handling cost that will be associated with it as well. And we'll get those labels generated so that that's one less thing that you have to worry about. Again, this is kind of outsourcing this type of service that's a required mandatory service for all of your DLA contract awards. So why not tune in and tap into a site where you can know that it's backed by yours truly, endorsed by yours truly, the DLA guru, to get you what you need when you need it. And once that's all added to the cart and you check out, these labels will be the orders will be received and labels will be generated and shipped within 3 to 5 business days to your designated office. All right. So this is just a great site. I don't think there are many websites. I did a little research and I didn't really find many websites that were out there, if any, that allow you just to purchase the pre-printed MIL-SPEC 129 labels. Again, guys, imagine you have a contract where you have 5,000 screws or 1,000 screws, and you're like, man, I got to print 1,000 of these labels. How in the hell am I gonna do this? This is how you can do it. Tune in and tap into hecdistribution.com. This is where you can get some of those services done. Brought to you by yours truly, the DLA Guru. All right, cool. And let's see. Let me bring this up on screen. Brother James says no shelf life in contract. Great. All right. So, but hey, there may be contracts out there where you may be selling, polymer-based type products to the DLA. You may even get into where you're selling, food rations type products and whatnot, and so there may be shelf lives and all that's embedded within your contract award. So making sure you can interpret those contracts to make sure you're doing everything correctly, because you can be off by 1 digit on your label. You can forget to put the unit of measure. We've had contracts where in the past, years ago, where we forgot to, we basically put, where you see on screen where it says 1 each, we actually just put the number 1. Got a quality notification because we didn't put the word each. And we basically had to pay to have all that material shipped back to our warehouse, where we had to regenerate the labels, relabel everything, and send it back just because we missed the word each on a unit ID label. So that's just how sensitive the DLA is to having the information 100% accurate on these types of in executing these contract vehicles, right? This is what the DLA is paying for. They're paying for this service from you being a prime vendor with the DLA. So just FYI, real sensitive issues, packaging and labeling with the DLA. It's it's not for the faint at heart. A lot of folks saying, hey man, I don't want to get involved and work with the U.S. military because I know it can be real difficult. These guys are real keen on their requirements, and if you don't get it done right the first time, you find yourself in storage room B really quick.
Thanks again for watching and for tuning in to this exciting announcement. I'm Parker Winslow, signing out.